Today we continue with our class Kosher Kitchen. And we start with Sefer Chaim. And the big topic is the same. It says Lashon Hara, laws of derogatory speech. Today's topic is ambiguous statements. A Jew is responsible for exercising caution in a speech and not making statement which can be misinterpreted and as derogatory. So it's not exactly derogatory, but people can misinterpret. What does it mean? Example of the ambiguous statement that should not be said. He's well-meaning fellow, right? Which can mean he's well-meaning but not very intelligent, or he's well-meaning but his actions are wrong. So meaning maybe you meant as a compliment, but it could be interpreted as not compliment, as opposite. If one simply means he is well-meaning and sincere, then he should say so clear, right? So we have to be very clear. Baruch HaShem, stop here. So today we continue. So with Kosher Kitchen, we're on chapter 1. And it's a very interesting chapter. We go there. The topic is prohibited types of prohibited food. So let me quickly do a quick review. So the first type was beima teima. That so meaning non-kosher animals. So non-kosher animals, all these things we spoke. Okay. Second is non-kosher fowl. So we said only what birds are kosher. Third one is nevila. So it's a dead animal. So the animal that died by itself, right? Or what did not have shkita. One of the other. Next one is treifa. Treifa, we said it's a mortally injured animal. Meaning mortally injured or have some birth defects. Also, okay. Number 5, we said sherets. Sherets is swarming insects and rodents. Number 6, and that's where we left off. We said dak tamei, non-kosher fish. Okay. So now we're going to number 7, and our topic is blood. Dam. Dam is blood. The Torah forbids eating blood of even kosher slaughter fowl, animals or fowl. So let me quickly read the commentary. So it says Vayikra 7, verses 26 and 27, and all other places. I'm not going to list. Blood is among the few prohibited food that render one who ingests it punishable by chorus. Right, for all other foods there is no chorus. I mean, on Pesach, if somebody comments, but they mean something else. Okay, so one more time, the blood is among few. Yeah, it says few. Apologies. No, it says few. It's not the only few prohibited food that render one who ingests it punishable by chorus. So chorus, for those who do not know, it's like the soul of that person being cut, in some cases from this life, from this world, and the world to come. That's how severe this eating blood is. Okay, this implies that the blood that gushes from the animal at the time of shkita. Okay, that's so we started last time. We did not finish. We're going to start from the beginning. So in the time of shkita, so it's certain blood. So for this blood, they say a person gets chorus, but looks like for other blood, there is different punishment. Okay. Continue. Therefore, after the slaughtering, all meat must be salted before cooking. So of course we wash it first, right? We wash, then we salt, then we wash again. The salting process include rinsing before and after salting. Okay. So, and quickly let's do the commentary. I think we did it last time, but let's just to review. So it says meat must be salted within 72 hours after shkita. So you're at the 69:12. Okay, 72 hours. If the meat was soaked in water at some time during 72 hours, one may wait another 72 hours before salting. If the meat was not soaked during 72 hours, the blood may be removed only through broiling, meaning over the fire. After a broiling, the meat may not be cooked. Okay, so meaning you can only eat like that. There's a question whether the meat that was frozen for more than 3 days before salted may be kosher through the salting. Maybe yes, maybe no. Any questions? Okay. So and as we mentioned last time, that's what the butchers did in the olden days, all the shechad. So they would just kill the animals and sell the meat. So all of these people, individuals would do all of the salting, all of the preparation of the meat themselves, right? So today we buy clean and nice looking meat. Certain organs and arteries must be removed or require special treatment to rid them of their blood. So could you put yourself on mute? Could you please mute your microphone? Thank you. All right, thank you. Sorry about that, everybody. Okay, no problem. So as we said, some arteries must be removed because they absorb so much blood. It's impossible to kosher them. Okay, so we cut them out and that's it. Next one is liver. Liver is permeated. The liver is permeated with blood and can be removed only through broiling. So as we said, over the fire, that's the only way. And same with heart. If somebody wants to eat heart or somebody wants to eat brain, I'm not sure. I think that they don't sell brain here in the States, but in other countries they do sell brain. So if you want to eat it, no problem. That's what you need to do. Okay. Liver that was broiled within 3 days of the shechita may be cooked after broiling. That's it. Very simple, right? So one more time. A liver that was broiled within 3 days of the shechita may be cooked after broiling. So with meat we said no, but with liver yes. Because why? Because it's not so dense, so the blood is coming out easily. However, poskim disagree whether the liver that was broiled after 3 days may be cooked afterwards. Okay. So it's very interesting. Okay. So the question is, how do they sell this liver in a store? That's a good question. And I saw in one store they sell fresh liver. I'm not sure what they do with that. Not sure. So it was not processed. I'm not sure. We now buy it, but I don't know. Maybe people buy it right away. I'm not sure. Maybe he orders for his customers. Okay. So it says important kashrut issues regarding livers. Number one who purchases fresh chicken livers should inquire when the chicken had shechita. I mean, do they sell chicken livers? I mean, all of them that I saw in a store, it's not like, I think they were like ready, like they were processed. Okay, but for example, somebody wants to buy these fresh chicken livers. Inquire when the chicken had shechita. If the liver will be broiled 3 days or more after the shechita, it is questionable whether the livers may be cooked or sauté after broiling. If the livers were frozen during the 3 days, one should consult his one's Rav as to whether they may be sateh or broiled. I would say don't do it. There is so much blood in the liver. How can you get rid of it? Okay, and plus I think it's very expensive. Why would you need to waste so much money? Next one, number 2. One should be very careful not to keep unfrozen raw chicken liver in a plastic bag for 24 hours. The livers are soaking in blood, and it may render them treif. Okay, so let's. I mean, I don't think any of us are going to do it, but let's read one more time and explain. One should be very careful not to keep unfrozen chicken, unfrozen raw chicken liver in a plastic bag for 24 hours. Unfrozen chicken, okay. Unfrozen for more than 24 hours. The livers are soaking in blood and maybe rendered them treif. Okay. Continue. So treif meaning not kosher. Poultry poultry producers sometimes package chicken or chicken on duck's livers in a plastic bag in the body cavity. This must be removed before the bird is roasted. If the bird was roasted before the liver was removed, the liver is certainly treif, and there is a serious kashrut question on the entire bird. Rav must be consulted. That's, I mean, it's if somebody buys the whole chicken. So usually, I mean, I think today they don't leave this these organs inside, but in olden days they did. Yes, there is a small package like inside, so they clean everything inside, but they leave all of these things inside. So you take them off and you do whatever you want. Okay, so of course that's a problem. Just 1 second. So must be removed before the bird is roasted. So if somebody roasted the bird and forgot to remove this this package, so for sure that this blood from liver would be be infused into chicken for sure, right? So don't do it. So if a situation like that, don't donate the chicken. And unfortunately it was kosher initially, but because we did not remove the liver that was inside, that's what happened. Okay, next one, fish blood. Fish blood is permitted, however it is gathered, if it gathered in a vessel, it is prohibited by rabbinic decree because it's maris ayin, right? It appears as one is drinking animal blood, unless it is recognizable as a fish blood. For example, it contains fish scales. Chazal were concerned that one may confuse the fish blood with animal blood. So okay, so let's try to understand. I'm not sure. Don't ask me. I don't know why would somebody like this to drink the fish blood, and it might be like huge fish. I'm not sure how big the fish must be there in order so you have like a glass in a cup. Okay, so but of course it's possible. So we're talking about kosher fish, right? So even though it is allowable if somebody wants to drink, I don't know, from raw fish blood, don't ask me, with a straw. Okay, but if somebody would pour it into container, so blood is allowed, but we must indicate that it's a fish blood. So some here he said maybe make sure that there is a few fish scales, right, in a cup, next to a cup, like somewhere. Some say put the skeleton of the fish somewhere, so it would be obvious that you're drinking the blood of the fish. So I'm not sure why somebody would do it, but that's allowable. But Rabbi said it's today we're going to discuss why Rabbi said so many things, right? So it's one of the things that is called maris ayin, as so we would not appear to any other onlookers that we're doing something wrong, because it is permitted. But how do you know, from the color of the blood that is in a vessel in somebody's hand, there is fish blood, there is permitted, and not animal's blood that is prohibited. Okay. That's the reason. So we try to protect ourselves and protect other people from thinking wrongly about us. So we put, as he said, the fish scales inside, or put, as I said, a fish skeleton. Okay, practical application. Human blood is not included in Torah prohibition of blood, but it is prohibited because it maris ayin. Therefore, if one sucks the blood from the wound, he may not swallow the blood. Right? It's from Shulchan Aruch. So, for example, you cut your finger, so naturally you put it in your mouth, right? So you can suck the blood, but you have to spit it out. If the blood never left the body, for example, one's tooth or gum is bleeding, one may swallow the blood. So that's a very big difference, right? So the blood that is forbidden. So one more time, human blood is not under this prohibited category. It's not. So technically, I mean, don't try it at home. So we don't drink human blood, but it can create this again maris ayin effect that other people will think that you drinking the animal blood, okay, which is forbidden. So we'll say even when you suck the blood from your wound, from your finger, from whatever, so you have to spit it out. The blood that inside of the mouth, like some of the tooth or gum is bleeding. I have a student, like, fortunately, he suffered, the person, I don't know, like he suffers so much from this gum disease. So I learned a lot about gum disease. If somebody does not have it, they have to praise HaShem like every hour, at least 5 minutes every hour, for not having these gum issues. Right? It's very, very painful, very, very terrible, and it's almost impossible to cure it, almost. Right? So they say this blood a person can swallow because it's never left the body, so there is no maris ayin. Okay, there is like nobody sees what's going on with you. However, if one bites a piece of bread and notices some blood on the bread, he must remove the blood before eating bread. Okay, it's also from Shulchan Aruch. So meaning what? You beat the bread, you see that the blood, for example, your tooth, your gum was bleeding, so you have to remove these pieces of bread that is the blood throughout and continue eating with your bread, even though of course it's your blood, but not to appear that that you're eating bread with blood. Continue. If fish or human blood is inadvertently mixed into food, the food is permitted. Okay, somebody was cutting salad and cut his finger, and then few drops went into salad, so there is no problem. Or fish blood also, there is no problem. I mean, can you wash completely? I mean, sometimes when it's in some types of the fish, it's not so easy to remove all of the blood. But when you start it like frying or cooking the fish, so you do not see the blood. Okay, so continue. Blood found in egg. So that's very, very common. So maybe all other things with liver or this package inside of the chicken was not very applicable to us. I mean, to most of us. But this one is very applicable to us, right? Which one is blood found in an egg? Okay. A common blood. By the way, any questions on what we say so far? Before we continue to eggs. Okay, then continue with eggs. A common blood problem is blood found in an egg. In previous times, hens were raised in close proximity to roosters, and many eggs were fertilized. In those times, if blood spot, either red or black, I personally never saw black, not only red, was found in the egg, it was a sign that embryonic development has begun. So before that, You can eat it. So okay, can you tell just looking at the egg? I don't think so. I don't think so. No. So you have to open and see if it has these blood spots, black or red. Depending on the part of the egg, when the blood is found, the egg may be forbidden by Torah law. Okay, so blood is not good, but it depends what part of the egg. So what does it mean? If egg was mixed with other eggs, the entire mixture may be forbidden, right? So if they mix and make, I don't know, like a cake or something, right? And you know there is a blood, right? It was black in one egg, even though you use 7 eggs, right? This since it's forbidden by the Torah law, so the whole mixture won't be forbidden. Let's see. These halachas are discussed in Shulchan Aruch. If an egg with a blood spot was cooked in a pot, the pot becomes treif. Very interesting, right? So of course it's in a shell, does not make a difference. So the whole pot becomes treif, meaning non-kosher, and must be koshered. So you kosher as if you cook non-kosher food in that pot. Common custom was and is to check every egg after opening it before it is used. Okay. That's what we do. The problem. So do they do it in a commercial establishment? No. I mean, maybe they check few, but not every egg. The proper manner to check eggs is to open each egg into a glass dish and inspect the egg before putting it into the bowl of open eggs. So you want to do omelet, for example, right? So you do one, you collect them somewhere, right, in one container, but you do one by one in a clean glass container, and so you can inspect it. If one mix an egg into the batter without checking it first, the batter is permitted, since most of the eggs do not have a blood spot. So now, I mean, he switches the gears. So now we're doing like after the fact. Since most of the eggs do not have these blood spots, I mean, in all my life I found maybe not too many, maybe 20. That's it for all of the checking. Right. So it's not a lot. It's it's not so much, right? So meaning what? Meaning that most of the eggs, maybe less than 20, I don't know. And most of the eggs do not have blood. So after the fact, so we go by majority and we say, okay, just continue eating. If 3 eggs were cooked together and one is found to have blood spot, the egg is discarded, but the other 2 eggs may be eaten, and the pot need not to be koshered. So that's a special leniency, right? 3 eggs were cooked together, so blood was found in one. Of course, we discard that one, but other two are good, no problem. And the pot is not is still kosher. So that's why when we cook eggs, for example, we need to cook eggs, so we cook minimum 3. Okay. Accordingly, many follows the custom and always cook no less than 3 eggs together. So that's the thing. Don't cook 2 eggs, right? 3 eggs. Today, most eggs are from hens. Most eggs from hens that are raised without rooster being present. These eggs are infertile and cannot produce an embryo. Nevertheless, one sometimes finds a blood spot in an egg. These blood spots do not indicate the fertilized egg. Rather, they are created by the rupture of the blood vessel in a yolk surface during the formation of an egg, or by similar accidents in the wall of the aviduct. Okay. Therefore, when one finds a blood spot in an egg today, one need not be concerned that the egg contained an embryo. The concern is only for the blood itself, which is forbidden. The utensils in which the egg was cooked is unaffected, since it always contains 60 times of volume of the blood spot. Okay, so let's try to review this piece line by line, and we're going to explain, because it's a clear instruction what should we do today. So today there are still eggs that it could be fertilized. All of this organic and cage-free, whatever this eggs, right? So the expensive one they could have, and when we bought like organic, I think I said like one time it was more than enough. We had to throw out like half of the, not half, like maybe out of dozen, maybe 4. Maybe I had to throw out the 4 eggs. So it was like, or 4 or 5. So it's like too much. First of all, they twice of the price, and plus it's too dangerous, right? So well, one more time. Today, most eggs are from hens that are raised without rooster being present. So even though it's not like fertilized eggs when they send from this, but still it might be blood, right? So since we're not sure if it's first fertilized, not fertilized, we throw out. Okay, it's better be on the safe side. These eggs are infertile and cannot produce an embryo. So that's like the best way you buy an egg, buy like regular normal eggs without all of these crazy things, right? Without organic, without cage-free, without all of these things, just normal eggs. By the way, you do not have to have kashrut on eggs. So even without kashrut, on some of them there is OU. So many times, but whatever you have, you can buy. There is no problem. It's paref, so egg is not meat. Okay, so continue. Nevertheless, one sometimes find a blood spot in an egg. So even in this regular one, these blood spots do not indicate the fertilized egg. So that's which is good. So because, as we said, this simple one, like straightforward, like eggs, they're not fertilized. Rather, they are caused by the rupture of the blood vessel in of the yolk surface during the formation of an egg, or by similar accident in a wall of on this wall of aviduct. Okay. Therefore, when one finds the blood spot in the egg today, one need not be concerned that the egg contains embryo. So, okay, the concern is only for the blood itself, which is forbidden. The utensil. So, okay, 3 things that we learn from here. So, we're talking about regular eggs that were produced without roosters, right? So whatever the blood spot, so it's never an embryo. Okay. So the only problem is a blood spot itself, not the whole egg. So if it were in these olden days, or these fancy schmancy eggs, right? It's actually an embryo. It's actually an embryo. That's the issue. So that's why the whole egg is forbidden. But here it's only partially forbidden. This blood spot is forbidden. The utensil in which egg was cooked. So if it's in raw, there is no problem. So what's somebody just asked me, like I'm not sure. The person was confused. I said there is no problem whatsoever. It was like a person saw blood while checking. There is no problem. So the only possible problem could be with the blood while you're cooking it. That could be an issue, right? So, but continue. The utensil which an egg was cooked is unaffected. No problem. You cook this egg with the blood, since always contains 60 times of volume of the blood spot. Okay, so of course the water and the egg itself is 60 times more than blood. So this taste from the blood did not go into the spot vessel walls. Continue. Nevertheless, contemporary poskim rule that any egg in which one finds blood should be discarded. Okay. So technically, so after the fact, you can eat it, right? But properly to discard it. So after the fact meaning what? That you did not check or you boiled them. Okay. If an egg was mixed into other eggs or into batter, so in a batter, how can you check, right? As much as an egg as possible, as much of the egg as possible should be removed, and remainder mixture is permitted. I mean, if you just if you did not mix and you see the blood spot, so you try to remove as much of the egg as possible. Okay. Even if the actual blood spot was lost in the mixture may be eaten since the blood is bottled, nullified. Okay, so let's read this piece again, and we're going to explain, because now we're going to continue with very important details. What exactly do we do? So on one hand, we said these simple eggs, they're not fertilized, so technically you can remove only blood spot and that's it, technically, right? But nevertheless, he said, contemporary poskim rule that any egg in which one finds blood should be discarded. That's what we do, right? So you check and you discard it. And as I said, it's a tiny percentage compared to the eggs that we use, like tiny. But you never know. Especially when you buy eggs from different companies with different brands, you must be very careful. If the egg was mixed into the other eggs or into the batter, as much of the egg as possible should be removed. So meaning, as we said, you did not blend it yet, so try to remove with a spoon as much, you see that the blood spots are around all of the eggs. Okay. Must be removed, and remaining mixture is permitted. So as we said, why? Because strictly speaking, there is no problem whatsoever. Even if the actual blood spot was lost in the mixture may be eaten since the blood was bottled. Okay, so it was accident. So it was not that the person planned for it, as we learn in our Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. It's not. It was accident. So after the fact, no problem. It was nullified. Nowadays, blood spots are rare. Less than 1% of all eggs produced have a blood spot. I would say, I don't know, maybe even less. Oh, okay, but 1%, but still there is possibility. So okay. In addition, all eggs candled with modern techniques, such as electronic spotters. Very interesting. And most eggs with blood spots are removed. Very interesting. Therefore, halachically, one may not require to check eggs before use. Nevertheless, the custom is to require that all eggs be checked before use. If food was prepared with unchecked eggs, the food may be eaten. Many scrupulous individuals do not eat food made with unchecked eggs. The custom of cooking and at least 3 eggs in a time halachically no longer required. However, many continue to follow this custom. So in our house, yes, we follow this custom. These 3 eggs, even though we try and in many things, even though they call it stringency, it's so easy to do. It's not require you something extra. So there is even if you cook extra, somebody in the house would eat it. It's no problem. So let's read one more time, and we're going to explain. So one more time, the big idea. Yes, today there are leniency if you buy regular eggs, but still we try to go by our custom, what we usually do. And plus, you never know what is going on. You never know. They give chicken different foods, this and that, give them shots. Okay, so we if possible, we check. So if you're going to boil the eggs, there is no way for you to check. That's when you can rely on leniency. But if you make it like omelet or something, right, or you use it for baking, for sure, it's a must. It's easy. Anyway, you have to break the egg, right? So you must check. Okay, so let's read one more time and we're going to explain. Nowadays, blood spots are rare. Okay, we said that. Less than 1% of the eggs produced have blood spots, right? And plus, we said it's not embryo. In addition, all eggs are candled. So, okay, candled, you see, I was surprised at the word candle. What does it mean? So it's like maybe like X-ray or something. With the modern techniques, such as electronic spotters, and most eggs with the blood spot are removed. So basically, they are. I mean, the way I understand, even for non-Jews who do not carry the blood, not blood, even like there's no prohibition for them to eat this blood. So even if they see the blood in the omelet, I don't think they would be happy very much. So they're going to stop buying. So that's my guess. So it was not done because of the Jews, right? But because of the general populace. But I guess those just a guess. I never looked into it. These eggs that have OU stamps, right? They probably go through the more scrupulous checking. I guess double checking maybe. I don't know. I never look into it because, as I said, if you want to buy with a kosher stamp, yeah, that's good. If this egg's not available in where you shop, yeah, you can buy without, no problem. Continue. Therefore, halachically, one is not required to check eggs before use. Okay, halachically, we said. Nevertheless, the custom is to require that all eggs are checked before use. So, is it obligated? No. Do we do it? Yes. If food was prepared with unchecked eggs, the food may be eaten, right? But as it says, there are many scrupulous individuals do not eat foods made with unchecked eggs. So me personally, I never met a person like that, but it doesn't mean anything. I mean, it's not like I talk food to people, but I guess these people would never go to restaurant unless the owner is very God-fearing person. And they would check before buying. They would check, ask him, "Are you checking all of the eggs?" But with a commercial, in commercial environment, how can you check all of the eggs? It's like you need a separate employee just to check eggs. Or in bakeries, how many eggs they use? I don't know, unbelievable amount. The custom of cooking at least 3 eggs. At the time is halachically no longer required. So we said that, but guess what? However, many continue to follow this custom. So as I said, not obligated, but since it's easier to implement, so that's what we do. Okay, and plus it's following the tradition. So we have this tradition for many years. So now when we try to abolish tradition, it's not good. Okay, continue. All that has been said refers to simple blood spot. At times, one may find an egg that is completely bloody. I saw pictures. Me personally, I saw pictures. Somebody sent me pictures, but we never saw in real life, completely bloody. In this case, he must be concerned that since an egg is unusual, perhaps it came from a hen that was near a rooster. A Rav must be consulted. So of course, it's not a big deal to kosher your vessel if you cook these eggs or something, right? Continue. This rabbi would not know. And I'm telling you right now, he would not know. He would need to call these kosher authorities, like a kosher agency, whoever, or you or OK or whatever is it, right, and ask them for details. And we would need to hear their answer. So to hear their answer, just so we know. So sometimes some inquiries that I send them, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, nobody replied to me. Sometimes they go simple things, 2-3 days they reply. So if you want to wait for all of these things for a long period of time, yeah, you can do that. But otherwise, just throw out and stay on the safe side. Today, many health-conscious individuals use fertilized eggs. That's you see, that's the issue. These eggs must be treated with all stringency noted above. Sigras Maishe, Minchak Yitzchak, Avadia Omer, and all others. Okay, so discuss this issue. So all this health, these eggs usually much more expensive, much with health conscious individuals. Okay, so my suggestion: don't buy them. Okay. Any questions on what we said? Okay, so let's go to next part. It says practical halachah concerning blood spots. Okay, since nowadays most of the eggs are from hens that are raised without roosters being present, the following halachas apply. Okay, number one, initially eggs should be checked before using. Okay, the eggs should be opened into glass utensils for inspection before it's mixed into the other foods. So as we said before, try to open in a cup, in a glass. We use this storage container, the Pyrex, right? It's like 2 cups glass. It's like you see everything clear, right? And then from this you pour the egg into whatever mixture you need. Okay, so check them separately. Otherwise, if you put them inside, if you just break the eggs and pour it into the mixture, so now, as we said, you have to remove, if there is a blood spot, you have to remove as much as possible. So it's big bother. So it's easier to see when it's in a separate container. That's it. So next one, if egg was not checked, the food may be eaten. Some are strict with regard to eating food containing uninspected eggs. So especially I would say in egg salad, right? So in the store that they sell egg salads, do they check eggs? No, there is no way for them to check these eggs. So these people would not eat egg salad. I mean, unless they rely on this castle of 3 eggs. I'm not sure what they do. Okay. Continue. Number 3, if egg was cooked in a pot and found to have blood spot, the egg should be discarded, but the pot need not to be kosher. So as we said, if it's not from this fertilized eggs, there is no problem with the pot. Okay, but egg you cannot eat. Okay. Next one, if egg with a blood spot was mistakenly mixed into a bowl of other eggs, one should remove the blood and as much of the egg as possible. So that's it. So it's not. That's why CC number 1, as we said, break the egg in a separate container. There is no problem, and then pour it into the mixture. If but after the fact, try to remove as much as possible from that egg. If the egg and the blood were lost in the food may be eaten. So if I don't know, I guess in my mind, how is it possible? So maybe when somebody it's already the mixture is already in the mixer, and the person say, I forgot to I need to add 1 egg, and break the egg and pour into the mixture, and then see it was blood, so but it's already too late. So that's my only example, right? So after the fact, you can eat it. Some have a custom to always cook in 3 eggs or more. So right, because as we said, there is no way to check the cooked eggs. I mean, okay, actually you can, I guess. One who has a custom should continue keeping it, even though it is halachically not halachically necessary. So the custom is called in Hebrew minchag. So minchag is very, very important to keep. So whatever is it. So and some people, some ignorant people, they make sometimes fun about other people minchagim, right? But if it was for many generations, for hundreds and hundreds of years, thousands of years, right? So we don't care about what other people say. We just continue doing. So minchag, and if you read backwards, again, no, right? Okay. If one finds an egg that is completely bloody, a Rav should be consulted. So that could be like one of these fertilized eggs. So I would say in this case, just go stringently. Don't ask anybody. I mean, of course you can consult with Rabbi, but it's better since we do not know and there is no way to prove, and it's very, very unusual, right? So maybe it's a huge problem and you have to like throw out, to throw out for sure. But just kosher utensil, very cool. It's very simple. You just have another utensil, and we're going to learn in this class how to kosher your kitchen from A to Z. It's not hard at all. Okay, and just kosher this pot just in case. That's it. Continue. One who uses fertilized eggs may not follow this leniency. Lenient halachas. If blood spot is found, the egg is discarded. If the egg was cooked in a pot, the pot must be koshered. So it's very simple. The pot must be koshered. If the egg was mixed into other foods, a Rav must be consulted. So let's read one more time. So with fertilized eggs, it's clear it's like in olden days. If blood spot was found, the eggs is discarded completely. So today we said it's preferable to discard it, but if he forgot or this, that, or it was too late, no problem. If an egg was cooked in a pot, the pot must be kosher. So in our case, if since this most likely not fertilized eggs, we said throw out the egg, but not obligated to kosher the pot, right? But in this case, since it was fertilized eggs, you must kosher the pot as well. If egg was mixed into other foods, Rav must be consulted. So I guess like after the fact, we need to establish that it's 1 to 60. Most likely it is 1 to 60, but we measure not to the spot itself. So we have to understand the whole egg is forbidden. The whole egg is forbidden in this case, right? Because this blood spot just show that it was fertilized. So it's like indication that the eggs was fertilized. So if it was fertilized, so now we have to determine. That's what I'm telling you what Rabbi is going to try to establish. If the whole content of whatever you're cooking was 1 to 60 to egg, it's a lot. It's not such a simple thing to determine, right? Okay. Any questions on what we said? So we finished with this topic, eggs. Okay, no questions. Continue then. So next topic is halach. So halach is fats, but not all of the fats. There's halach is forbidden fats. Okay.
Rabbi, I have a quick question.
Please go ahead.
Did you say we can't cook more than 2 eggs at a time?
No, I did not say that. We said that if we using regular eggs, not this fertilized eggs, not to fancy schmancy like from organic store or something, health store. So if you use regular eggs, so the custom is if you boil 3 eggs, there is no problem. So if 2 eggs, there is a problem. That's what we said. You understand? So, but it's only about boiling, because it's there is no way, like before the boiling, there is no way for you to check. So if it's 3 eggs and you found blood, like after you start peeling the egg and you find the blood in there, so you don't have to kosher the utensil, and both 2 other eggs are permitted. There is no problem. So the reason is, I'm just answering since you asked the question. So biblically we go by majority. So biblically, if it's 51% or something like 51% permissible, 49% prohibited, so we go by majority and we make it permissible. But rabbis, and it's our topic today, somebody asked the question, what exactly Rabbi did. So they put the fences around this, right, about this halacha. So according to biblically, we go by majority, but rabbinically we don't go by majority. Rabbinically we go 1 to 60. So it's 1 to 60, meaning 61 parts against 1 part, basically like this. Okay, so in this case, right? In this case, we go by majority. So they gave us, rabbis gave us this leniency. You boil 3 eggs. In one of them you found the blood, so the utensils stay kosher. You don't have to kosher it unless it's these fertilized eggs, and plus you don't have to throw out other 2. That's it. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, no problem. So continue. Very good question. So continue. So next topic is halach. The fats on a certain internal organs must be removed from ritually slaughtered cattle, sheep, or goats before the meat may be eaten. So today, just so we understand, so it's not fat that is attached to the meat. There is no problem with that fat. The fat that it's around the organs, around kidneys, right, around liver, some around the heart. So all of these fats are forbidden. Why? Because they were actually brought up on the altar, right? But when we buy in a store, there are no such fats. Just so you know. So continue. The prohibition applies to common domestic animals only, right? Beima, right? What do they call beima? There is a cattle, sheep, and goats, and not fowl. So with the birds, you can eat this fat. I'm not sure, but since usually today when you buy chicken, for example, in the store, so you don't have internal organs, so that there is no such a fat. Okay. Right. So the only issue with this domestic big animals, not with fowl or wild forest animals, chaya. So if you want to eat this fat, right, halach, right, that is for fat of deer, which is wild animal and kosher, so there is no problem whatsoever. Okay. Removal of forbidden fats is difficult task and must be done by skilled expert. This process is called nikur, okay, and is usually done in a slaughterhouse. At times, butchers themselves do nikur. Sorry. The butcher must be skilled, knowledgeable, and God-fearing individual who does nikur under proper rabbinic supervision. Okay, so basically they remove all of these forbidden fats before we see this meat, right? And I'm not sure, maybe if for a person who buys organs or something like that, or diaphragm, right? So also contains this fat, also forbidden. Okay. Continue. So I mean that's it on this topic. It's not much to say. So as I said, usually we don't ever see it. Okay. So next one, that's a big one. Okay, so it says the number 9, Git Hanashem. So that's a big one, sciatic nerve. Right? So it says the Torah prohibits eating a Git Hanashem, the sciatic nerve, in both hind thighs of any kosher land animal, domestic or wild. That's it. So we don't eat tithe, hind tithes, right? So from 2 sides. Even with, we know from it was forbidden for one, but we don't eat from both of them. The difficult process to remove the nerve and the fat surrounding is called nikur. Also, right, nikur, and must be done with a great care by God-fearing skilled expert. In most countries, the hind part, so the behind, of the animal is not eaten at all, thereby entirely avoiding the difficult process of removing the prohibited fats and nerves. Okay, so in for example in the States and in I think in Europe also, they do not eat the rear part of the animal. So they just cut and sell to other people, no problem. And other people like it because it's what is it, filet mignon or something, right? That's for them it's the best. For us it is forbidden. So even though even though technically, so one might think, so there is a nerve, there is a fat, and we know where the nerve is. You know where the fat is. So cut a little more, right? Cut like I don't know, half inch more. Right, for sure it's a meat. So, but since it is a biblical prohibition, so our Rabbi said we're not going to play with fire. So it better not to do it. Okay. So practical application: one who purchases meat from must ascertain that the meat is from a kosher animal or fowl, that the animal was ritually slaughtered, that all forbidden fats and gid hanashem were removed, and that the meat was properly salted. Okay, so let's learn. Okay, so basically, a person comes to the store. So let's say, I mean, he moves to the new neighborhood, right? And he's not sure that I'm not sure how is it possible. Okay, so he goes to this store, right, and asks if this meat from kosher or non animal or fowl. I'm not sure. Today, kosher stores, they do not sell not kosher fowl or kosher butcher. They do not sell other things, only kosher meat. Okay, but if you go to non-kosher supermarket, for example, yeah, you would have like packaged meat, but it's packaged, it's double sealed. There is no problem whatsoever, right? But okay, but they teach us what questions to ask, right? The animals richly slaughtered, that's what you have to ask. All forbidden fats and gid hanasheh were removed, or completely removed, meaning they don't sell you rear part, and that the meat was properly salted. Okay, therefore it is not sufficient to merely obtain the meat from meat that has proper slaughter supervision. The butcher store itself must be under reliable supervision. Okay. So today, just so we know, today in a butcher store, I mean, I cannot say about all of butcher stores, but most of the time in a slaughterhouse they do all of the work and they deliver like clean meat, clean, and everything he does is just cuts whatever they order, and they cut they order like 5 pounds, 6 pounds, and they cut me in these strips, that strips, and that's what they do. They don't do all of these things today, right? And simply no time. You would need like a few extra people. So they do all of this dirty work in the slaughterhouse. Maybe not in the slaughter, but in a processing factory, wherever where they process this meat. One should not purchase meat, even from an ostensibly God-fearing butcher, if establishment is not under rabbinic supervision. So if it's not rabbinic supervision, don't buy it. So it's simple, right? Because I mean the thing is, so you don't know where like maybe he's God-fearing, but maybe one day he's not going to be so much God-fearing. But sometimes in a butcher's way I go, they have all of this like packaged, right? Packaged, and he said, so if you want to buy the whole piece of meat, so it's like a whole piece, like I don't know, like maybe 15-20 pounds. So he's going to sell you the whole meat, so all packaged. There's no problem. He's going to just cut like in front of you. That's it. So in this case, there is no rabbinic supervision needed. But if it's like on individual pieces, like on display without packaging, so without all the stamps, you don't know. Meats and fowl sold at the producer's sealed plastic wrap, tamper-proof trays, or wrappings may be purchased at any location, such as supermarket, right? Supermarket, in accordance to if accompanied by not removable label from reliable supervision agency, and usually they put label. So if you try to remove, you're going to tear the plastic. Okay, that's what they mean. Since there is always a remote possibility that packaging may be fraudulent or may have tampered with, some punctilious individuals purchase even packaged meat only from a proper supervised butcher. Okay, so I mean, if you want to go like this, it's some people, that's what they do. They go only to certain stores, only God-fearing people, like owners of the stores, the butcher himself, and plus rabbinical supervision, and so you can sleep calmly, right? So when you buy from this, but even from supermarket, I mean, who's going to play with these things? I'm not. In my mind, like this guy, the delivery guy, and I saw them deliver. The Jewish guy comes, right? He puts the stuff into the freezer and he leaves. That's it. So somebody is going to take this stuff, like a supermarket would do such a thing. I don't know. That's for me, it's a little far-fetched. I mean, that's not so much money. Like how much are they going to make? Like $3 extra, $5 extra. I don't know. Okay, so continue. Number 10. Any questions on what we said about this sciatic nerve, that we don't eat this hind part? So actually, I just want to mention. So I think some Sephardic custom, right, in some Sephardic circles, they have tradition how to remove it from olden days, right? So and they do remove it. And they eat this part. So what to do? And I was like a long time ago, I was invited to such a party, so I did not eat. I did not eat meat at all. So nobody from my family ate the meat. I told them, right? So it's like we ate chicken, no problem. But meat, since it's possible, for them there is no problem. And even though they claim that they have tradition, so we don't have tradition. We don't eat it, so we don't. Okay. So I mean, don't tell them, but they have tradition to rely on. We don't, so we don't need it. Eat chicken. It was a long time ago. Continue. Number 10. Next. Ever minachai, a limb from living creature. Right. So number 10. One may not eat a limb of an animal or fowl that was removed while the animal was alive. That's it's one of these 7 no-hide laws. Right? Although this prohibition does not apply to fish, one should nevertheless not a part of fish while fish is still alive. Right? Some crazy people that's what they do. Right? They eat fish alive and all of the other like seafood while it's still alive. Which is, of course, it's disgusting, but okay, that's what it is. Incidentally, the law of Ever Minachai is unique among the laws of the Kashrus, in that it applies to non-Jews as well as a Jews. Right? So, as we said, do not eat from living animal. Thus, a Jew may not provide a non-Jew with Ever Minachai meat, since by doing so he is facilitated the transgression of the Torah. So what does it mean? So if, for example, so if a Jew slaughtered an animal and he found out that it was like it's not kosher for him for whatever reason, so he can sell to non-Jew. There is no problem whatsoever, because for a non-Jew there is no prohibition to eat the killed animal. So if it was killed, there is no problem. any way. Of course, it's preferable the most humane way. So is tends to be our shkita, but there's no problem for them to eat whatever is not good for us. So that's why we most often we sell to Muslims. So Arabs, Muslims, they use it. Our not good kosher is the best halal meat for them. The top quality. Okay, Baruch Hashem. Of course, they know that we cannot use it, so they get a discount price. But what can you do? Continue. 11. Right, but this you cannot sell to them, since I'm not sure how is it possible that a person tore a piece of living creature. I'm not sure, but whatever. Let's say it's possible from a chicken, maybe a wing or a leg. I don't know. So of course we cannot give it to a non-Jew. Okay, number 11, tevel. Okay, so what does it mean? Produce from which the tithes were not removed. So that's very interesting. So let's see. One may not eat fruits or vegetables grown in Eretz Israel unless the required trumas and masros were set aside. Okay, so Rambam, we actually learned it in my morning class. We did it, I don't know, 6 months or maybe, no, 6 months or more. We learned this laws of prohibited food. It was one of them. Okay, how to remove trumas. So today it's applied only in Eretz Israel. Practical application. Fresh fruits and vegetables, or even orange juice concentrate, are commonly imported from Israel. Okay. These fruits may not be eaten without setting aside these tithes beforehand. One should consult a Rav as to whether such a produce should be purchased or the proper procedure of tying in case of erroneously purchased. Okay, so let me explain a little different what it says here. So when you're in Israel, right? When you go to Israel, so if you go to supermarket, so all of these supermarkets, then not all of them, but many of them mechadrin. Mechadrin means that under strict supervision. So strict supervision that you don't have to worry. They removed what had to be removed. Of course, they charge. They charge much more. So some people prefer. Some people prefer to just buy from these kibbutz, right? Not religious people, and separate themselves. But when we go to Israel, we try not to do that. So whatever in the supermarket, and reliable supermarket, you buy, and you know that the Musar and what is it, and all of the tithes were removed, and you can eat it. But if you want to do it yourself, there is no problem. You can do it yourself. Of course, there is nobody to give this tithe, because you have to give to Kohen, right? Kohen is impure himself. He's not allowed to eat, so you're not allowed to give him, right? So you have to set aside. I'm just give like a brief summary. Set aside until it rots, and then you can throw out, because you're not allowed to throw out right away, because it's sacred food. Okay. Continue. So don't buy the produce from Israel, right? Unless you want to do all the whole procedure. Okay. So continue. Or it is known that it was produced under this kosher reliable supervision. Okay, one of the two. So number 12, orla. Orla, the fruits of the first 3 years. So that's very interesting. It's very, very applicable. So we have this we had this orla in my front yard. Very interesting. One who plants a fruit tree, whether in Eretz Israel or elsewhere, may not eat any produce growing for the first 3 years. So you plant wine tree or whatever, apple tree or whatever you planted, so you're not allowed to eat the fruits for first 3 years. Okay. Practical application. One who replants the tree may also be required to wait 3 years before eating any of the fruits. A Rav should be consulted. Okay, very interesting. So meaning replanting, so like it was in one place and you want to put it in another place. So so they say there is a possibility in some cases that you wait originally 3 years. Now let's say 2 years later you want to build, I don't know, house in this lot, and you want to replant the fruit tree. So technically you're allowed, but according to some opinion you would need to wait another 3 years until you're able to use the fruits. One should also consult Rav to determine whether 3 years have elapsed. In addition, one should inquire regarding the particular halachas of grape wine. Okay, so as I say, grape wine, it's a different story because you cannot plant mixed seeds in there, okay, between the grape wine. It's a different story. And it's very interesting. It says how to calculate the 3 years. So I say, well, what, I'm stupid? I don't know how to calculate 3 years. No, nobody calls you stupid, but that's not how we calculate the years. Right? That's halachic definition when the year starts. Continue. We've got a practical application. One contemplating planting a fruit tree should be aware that the prohibition of destroying such a tree. A fruit tree that is no longer desirable should not be cut down. This may present a serious problem for someone who wishes to build an addition to his home or clear the land. So it's this part is very practical. So basically it's saying that we have halachah, you're not allowed to destroy fruit tree, even if it's no longer produces fruits. Very interesting, right? And so a person, let's say they just bought a house and they planted all of this garden, and then they decided that we want to do extension, we want to do whatever we want to do, right? You want to make a playground for kids, so you're not allowed to destroy the tree, period. And in the religious neighborhoods, if you have this tree, like it's blocking something, so this house would be much cheaper. Why? Because nobody wants this tree. Like you're not allowed to touch it. So and if there is some leniency and there is some opinions that say, yeah, you can do it from a non-Jew. Guess what? It says that in the Talmud that if you destroy this tree, so your life is in danger. So don't do it. Don't play with this tree. So ask a rabbi before you do all of these things. Okay. Continue. So let's do one more. And it says number 13, Hadash. That's also a very big one. So new fresh grain. The Torah in Vayikra. So let me quickly read the commentary. Vayikra 23:14 states that the Torah states that a new grain from the 16th of Nisan is prohibited until after the bringing the Omer offering following the 16th of Nisan. So 16th is of Nisan, it's the next day, second day of Pesach. Okay, so one more time. The Torah prohibits eating any of the 5 types of grain: wheat, barley, oats, spelt, and rye. And that took roots after the 16th of Nisan until after the following Nisan. Okay. 1 second. Until the following Nisan. Okay. I'm not sure why is it. Oh, no. I apologize. Let's stop. I apologize. I don't know why. I'm still going. Okay, so let's stop here. I apologize. Let's answer the question. Okay, so the first, can somebody quickly read the question for me, please? If Joshua is there, I'm not sure. It was something about. okay, if I remember correctly. So about the Halachah development, right? So how who's these rabbis who tell us what to do, basically, right? That's a good question for a day. So all the laws that we have today, they were passed in two forms. One is written law, which is where we have like Chumash, these 5 books of Moshe, and second part is the oral tradition. So that was given to our teacher Moshe Rabbeinu orally. So and until just I don't know. So and it was forbidden to write it down. All of these years was forbidden. So and people had like some little notes, like some reminders for themselves, but it was completely forbidden to write down. Okay, and after some times when Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi, that he saw that we very soon it's going to end and we're going to disperse and there's no more scholars that remember all oral law by heart. And what he did, he compiled Mishnah. So Mishnah is condensed laws. If you read the Mishnah, you understand exactly zero. You feel not smart, to say the least. At least I feel not smart, right? Because even things that you thought that you understand, when you try to, like you go into Talmud, you see that explanation, it's exactly opposite. Unless you learn in person and you know it from other sources that it's like the way the things work, so you cannot learn the laws from the Mishnah. But in his time, yeah, people could learn the laws from the Mishnah. They knew exactly what was said there. And after that, we have after another few hundred years, people saw that even the Mishnah is not enough. People do not understand what to do. And that's how Talmud started. And our sages, they discussed what it says in the Mishnah. And they came to conclusion. Sometimes they would come to final conclusion. Sometimes they would not come to final conclusion. Okay, doesn't matter. And then comes, after some time, it's come Tur. This Rabbi Tur, he compiled the Shulchan Aruch, first Shulchan Aruch, that comes Rambam. He compiled this Mishnah Torah, as we learn it. As we learn this, like at least pieces from Mishnah Torah. And then 300 to 400 years later came Shulchan Aruch, Rav Yosef Karo Zatzal, and he compiled Shulchan Aruch from Rambam, from Tur, from Leib, from these great sages, from others also as well, and that's how we know what to do. So that's how we know what to do today, right? And our contemporary rabbis, they look at Shulchan Aruch, they look at Talmud, and see how, what this let's say is a light, that the light bulb when it first came out. So there was a difference of the opinions among the rabbis. Is it fire or it's not fire? Right? For I don't know, for so many years there were difference of opinions. Some say it's fire, some say it's not fire. What's the difference? According to some, you can turn the switch on Shabbos. According to them, you're going to Michal Shabbos. So it's a huge difference, right? Then the Halachah just developed. So they say yes, this incandescent bulbs for sure it's a fire. So that was final decision. And from then Rabbi just compared the cases, like the cases in the Talmud, the cases in Shulchan Aruch, and see what it can compare to. And that's how they know what to do with refrigerators, with the motors, with the timers. So timers, just in summary. So there is a section in Talmud that says if you open the water channel before Shabbos starts, so it can water your garden during the Shabbos, no problem. So the logic is that you don't so you don't have to, you're not doing anything active on Shabbos, so there is no problem. So you're allowed. So same is here. So you're allowed to leave the switch on Shabbos with your light. You're allowed to keep your as we said yesterday, water urn going. There is no problem. You're not doing anything actively, or your stove going. There is no problem. Assuming that you're not cooking. And what else? Like everything, like then timer. So if you set the timer before Shabbos, technically it can turn off your lights or you turn on your air conditioners, whatever you need. Okay, that's how it's developed in summary, nutshell. Okay. Any questions? It was a second question, but I don't remember what was it. Sorry. Any other questions? Or we stop here? Okay, no problem. So we stop here. Wish everybody good Shabbos, and until tomorrow.